The following is a sponsored program paid for by First Alliance Credit Union. Welcome to Good Money Moves, featuring Jenna Taubel from First Alliance Credit Union and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
It's time for Good Money Moves. I'm Andy Brownell. And as always, I'm joined by Jenna Taubel, our financial expert from First Alliance Credit Union. Jenna, welcome.
Hey, thanks.
All right. Last week, we navigated how to use an overdraft line of credit. Mm-hmm. What are we going to explore this week on Good Money Moves?
I am excited about the topic I have for today. With the holiday season just kind of around the corner, kind of gearing up. It's time to start thinking about celebration, but that also can bring a lot of financial pressure for a lot of people, especially with the big shopping days like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Travel Tuesday. So we're here today to help our listeners make their money stretch a little bit farther over the holidays and maybe provide some interesting ideas and opportunities for how to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe the time of the year is already upon us.
I know, like, where did 2024 go?
And I'll be honest with you, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, familiar. Travel Tuesday, not so much. That'll be interesting to hear about that.
Yeah. I'm excited to share about it because I don't think a lot of people know about this. But I thought we could maybe start with diving into a real life example. So we're going to call this person Sarah Doe. She is a mom with two teens who are dropping some really big hints about Christmas as teens and, well, kids in general are wont to do about iPhones and PlayStations and all the expensive electronic stuff, right? And of course, these are not cheap items.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, Sarah was planning ahead already. She's got a holiday club savings account at First Alliance, and she's been contributing to it all year. And so she's also looking at trying to figure out how she doesn't have all that money saved up yet, but how might she look at a low interest holiday loan to kind of top off this large expense that is looming upon her.
Oh, yeah. If she's going to go down that road and buy the big ticket items, that'll take a chunk out of the budget, that's for sure.
It will.
So how does someone like Sarah Doe make sure she's going to handle this right?
Yeah. So the key is planning. She's already off to that really strong start, like I mentioned, using that club savings account, which is a really fantastic way to gradually save up for those big ticket holiday spending items. And if she does need a little bit more to cover those like high demand gifts, a holiday loan from the credit union can really help bridge that gap without pushing her into credit card debt.
Yeah. High interest credit card debt.
Exactly, especially right now.
For someone not familiar with it, how does the club savings account work?
Yeah, that is a great question. So the club savings account is like a traditional savings account, if you will. However, the idea behind it is that you don't have access to those funds until November. And I don't recall exactly what day in November the funds release, but it's in early November. The funds will be released into your checking account automatically for you. So it's a really helpful way to plan ahead for the holidays and just start sinking a little bit of money aside that is kind of kept in a special account. Sometimes the rates on that account are better than our typical savings account. Sometimes they match it. But the idea being that you have this nice little bucket of funds that you know is specifically for holiday spending. So when the holidays come around, let's say you saved up $500, in that account, it gets released into your checking account just in time for the holiday shopping season.
Yeah, and you're not tempted to spend it because it's kind of off limits until then.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned taking out a holiday loan instead of using the old credit card.
Yeah.
Obviously, that should save her money on interest, right?
Exactly, exactly. So the interest on a holiday loan is usually lower than what you would get on a credit card. And since, going back to Sarah's example, she's already kind of planned out some of her spending. This way, she only has to take out exactly what she thinks she's going to need. So, for example, she saved that $500 in that club account, but that iPhone and PlayStation cost like $1,300 total, right? As an example. So she might only need $800 to cover the rest. And that's actually a really manageable amount that just about anybody could pay off within a few months without a lot of financial strain. But it's a great way to kind of access those additional funds at a lower interest rate.
All right. So when we started this all out, you mentioned, of course, Black Friday right after Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, which has become a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
How can someone like Sarah or anybody else prepare to get the most out of these big shopping days?
Yes, you always should have a plan. Black Friday can be really fun and it's easy to get sidetracked though with those flashy deals on like, oh, look at this waffle iron you weren't planning to buy, but it's only $10. Well, it's usually not a very good waffle iron. So like don't spend the $10 on the flashy deals if they weren't on your list to begin with. So it's really important that you start out with a budget in mind. You have a list of the items you're planning to purchase and then check where those items are going to be sold. And if you have any like loyalty programs you're part of that could provide some additional discounts, that's a great opportunity to use those. For going back to our example with Sarah, if she's looking at an iPhone, she could also check with her cell phone provider to see if there's any like bundle deals they have for Black Friday, or, sometimes you can, bundle your different, I don't know, cell phone plans get complicated, but there's deals out there to be had.
I hate exploring those things.
Yeah. This time of year, sometimes you even get like maybe some kind of gift card or other perk to spend elsewhere when you sign up for certain things. So just be on the lookout for deals that align with the list of things that you were planning to spend in the first place.
You know what? I've got into a habit. You mentioned other, perks.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making a significant purchase, I just do a Google search for discount codes, and a lot of times they don't work. But sometimes they do.
Yeah.
I remember it wasn't that long ago. I had to buy a new laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and I did one of these random searches for discount codes. I ended up getting $100 off.
Nice. Yeah. Most of the time they don't work, but
minutes.
You can hit the jackpot every now and again.
Yeah, it was like winning the lottery.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, that's a great tip. Tip.
So Black Friday is one thing, but then there's Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Are there different strategies involved when we look at Cyber Monday?
Yeah, Cyber Monday is ideal for people like me who would rather just avoid the crowds altogether. Yeah. Like I don't want anything to do with Black Friday and never have. Cyber Monday is my jam. So Sarah, for example, could easily check out any online only deals or bundle discounts from like her favorite online retailers, especially for electronics. I think that's where you probably get the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to like discounts and rebates these days. It's also a good day for kind of stacking your savings. If you have any kind of cashback apps or browser extensions that help you find coupons and things like that, you can oftentimes kind of double down on some of those available discounts. And if you're buying multiples of gifts, like bundling everything into one order helps save on shipping. So shipping can, if you don't shop early, shipping just gets more and more expensive the closer to Christmas you get. So shop early when you're shopping online.
Oh, it's huge. And it used to be so common that free shipping was thrown in, but that's become less and less in recent years. And you mentioned you get within a couple weeks of the actual holiday and you have any expectation you're going to get it on time, you are going to pay extra.
Yeah. Yes. There have been many years where I was searching last minute for something only to realize I was going to have to pay almost the same amount of money in shipping as I was for the item.
Shipping will be $58. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess if I wanted by Christmas.
It's called supply and demand. All right.
hmm
We're talking about holiday shopping, how you can handle it the right way, hopefully to save you some money and stay within your budget. In other words, make good money moves. Jenna Taubel is here with First Alliance Credit Union, and we'll be back in a moment on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good Money Moves continues in moments with Andy Brownell and Jenna Taubel from First Alliance Credit Union. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. We're talking good money moves with Andy Brownell and Jenna Taubel from First Alliance Credit Union on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to Good Money Moves. I'm Andy Brownell, and we, of course, are with Jenna Taubel with First Alliance Credit Union, talking about the holidays. They're around the corner. In fact, very, very close with Thanksgiving, almost here. So I guess maybe we should talk about ways we can make good money moves while celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So I have another example for you. So there's a couple who just moved into their first apartment together. We'll call them Lisa and Mark. And they are very, very excited to show off their new place to their friends and family over the holidays. And so they've offered to host their family for the holidays, but realize that after all of the moving expenses and the deposit to get moved into the apartment and buy all the new furniture and things that they needed, that they're a little bit short on funds to cover some of the decorations and the food and drink that they want for this really special, like, first Thanksgiving in their own place.
Yeah.
So since they're on a budget, there's a couple different ways that, you could look at making this holiday festive but affordable. So they could look into prioritizing foods that are more affordable and very filling versus, more of like the sweets and things. They fill you up, but they aren't always the most affordable. And you can also, potentially keep costs down by hosting more of a potluck instead of making and dishing out all the food yourself. Have everybody bring a side dish. Maybe they just make the turkey the main centerpiece, right? And I think there's a lot of families that do the potluck style.
Yeah, people like potlucks.
Yeah, and everybody gets an opportunity to contribute that way.
Right.
But if they're really, really wanting to host the whole event, again, and the funds are short, but this is maybe something that's really important to them, to start building their own tradition and to really solidify their own home that way. Some people really need that. They could consider taking out, again, like a small holiday loan or even a line of credit. When I say small, like a $500 loan could be plenty to cover the groceries, the drinks, the decorations they want, so that they can host without really overspending. Again, that $500, that's a small amount that could easily be repaid in a short amount of time without creating any kind of financial strain. And then they can kind of set that budget and grab everything they need in one go and make sure that, again, that it's a manageable payment over the next few months.
So if I go into First Alliance Credit Union and I want to take out one of these holiday loans that you talk about, these are fixed loans, right? I say $500 and then we set the amount of months
Correct.
out there, and then the payments are set, the interest rate is set, and there we go, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it's fixed. So that way you don't have to worry about stacking additional funds on top of it like you would with a credit card or a line of credit.
Yeah.
This is what I need. I don't need any more than that. I want to be able to pay this off within 12 months, 18 months, whatever that looks like, and just be done with it and know that I've gotten the experience I wanted to have and created it in a way that I can afford.
Okay. So the one thing we haven't talked about yet is Travel Tuesday. What is Travel Tuesday?
So Travel Tuesday is the day after Cyber Monday.
Okay.
And it's when airlines and travel sites offer major discounts on flights, hotels, vacation packages. This can be huge for families who want to take a trip in 2025 or even over the holidays. So let's imagine the couple that maybe have a college senior somewhere across the country attending college, and they want to fly them home from college for the holidays. The kid can't afford it themselves, so they want to do it. Travel Tuesday would be a great day for them to purchase all of these travel arrangements. And then they can, use it as like a surprise Christmas present. You do get to come home. You don't have to sit in the dorm room by yourself over Christmas, right? So one good way to make sure that you're able to take advantage of some of these, big discounts that these airlines and hotels offer is to set up price alerts on platforms like Google Flights or Skyscanner for the different destinations that you're interested in going to. And by setting up price alerts now, you'll get notified of any early deals. And then, of course, on Travel Tuesday, you can see if the prices have dropped even more, which sometimes, again, depends on the destination and the airline. Sometimes they drop more than others. So also some airlines and travel websites do announce Travel Tuesday deals on like social media or through their newsletters. So if you're planning to do some traveling, it's probably worth following a few airlines for some of those updates.
Oh, I did not know there was such a thing. Any other tips? If we're going to take advantage of booking flights on Travel Tuesday?
Yeah, so I would say, I think, you should look into flexible dates of travel if possible. You might find better deals if you can adjust the travel dates by a day or two. I think a lot of deals on Travel Tuesday include like package discounts on airfare and hotels. So, keep that in mind as you're reviewing these opportunities that you can maybe save more by doing the airfare and hotels together. You could also use like any credit card points that you've accumulated if you have travel cards or, rewards cards that let you redeem for travel. You can use those at this time too to redeem, for flights and hotel stays, again, to kind of bring that cost down. And then I would also say that combining, again, your Travel Tuesday discounts with those credit card points, that could probably save you between 15 to 30% or more, depending on what those rewards look like for you. So some really good opportunities.
That's significant.
It is. It's pretty big. And then, everybody has different feelings about travel insurance, but if you're unsure about the timing of your trip, look at the travel insurance options, especially those that are going to protect you in case you do need to reschedule. Because things happen.
Right. Well, especially this time of the year with the weather.
Exactly.
It always seems like either during the Christmas travel period or the Thanksgiving travel period, some major airport gets socked in.
Oh, yes. Yeah, wasn't it last year was it Southwest had a huge issue?
I think it was, yeah. And I think they're still dealing with the after effects of that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about planning ahead for the holidays in terms of making good money moves. Jenna Taubel with First Alliance Credit Union. And we'll be back on Newstalk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good Money Moves continues in moments with Andy Brownell and Jenna Taubel from First Alliance Credit Union. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. We're talking good money moves with Andy Brownell and Jenna Taubel from First Alliance Credit Union on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
It is good money moves. We're talking about holiday planning. So Jenna, beyond the big holiday shopping days, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Travel Tuesday, and holiday loans. Are there any other ways our listeners can prepare themselves for the upcoming holidays financially?
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of talked earlier about that club savings account. So for those who want to save gradually over the year, that holiday club savings account is a really easy way to set aside money throughout the year. So it's really perfect for people who know that they will need extra funds come December. And this way, you're not scrambling for cash last minute or relying solely on credit.
Yep.
So going back to our earlier example of Sarah and her kids wanting the iPhone and the PlayStation, right? Her club savings account really gives her this really solid head start on being able to get those things for her kids. Um, and so I think another great option too is like rewards savings account, which can be great. We have one called Wincentive Savings at First Alliance, and this is a program that rewards you for saving. So every $25 balance increase in your account over the month, you get an entry into a prize drawing for monthly, quarterly, and annual prize drawings, and monthly prize drawings of $100,
Nice.
quarterly prize drawings of $1,000, and annual prize drawings of $5,000. And this is a statewide program, and we've had two $5,000 winners at First Alliance. We've had multiple $1,000 winners and many, many, many $100 winners. So this is a program that I absolutely love for our members to take advantage of, because it is so fun to just like hope that you're the winner each month. And then when you are, or you know someone who is, like, what a fun way to celebrate like reaching some savings goals together. So yes, Wincentive, awesome program. Check it out on our website. I'm a raving fan of it. I've never won myself, but I'm a raving fan of it, even though I've been saving for so many years.
And if you're Sarah and our mythical character Sarah, it would be iPhones for everyone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but if for people needing extra funds that really just, aren't interested in a loan, that's not where their risk tolerance is, you can, of course, consider using, a small line of credit as well. Those can work well for those who want that more flexible access to funds and only want to borrow exactly what they need. So like, for instance, our example of our two that just got their apartment earlier, Mark and Lisa, that grocery bill ends up being less than expected, then they only have to borrow, that smaller amount that they were looking for. So there's a lot of ways to go about saving and planning to afford all of the holiday expenses that come our way.
Absolutely. And you think about that club savings plan. If Sarah had thought ahead, that'd be just over $100 a month if she had a year in advance to prepare for purchasing all that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. We've been focusing a lot on spending. But here's one for you. Have you ever heard of No Spend November?
I have.
It's where, I don't know if I could do it, but limit your spending to just the essentials to save for the holidays. Could this maybe work for our characters, Sarah or Mark and Lisa?
100%, definitely. No Spend November is a really great, like, pre-holiday savings strategy, if you will. So by cutting out non-essential expenses, you can actually save a lot in just a few weeks. And it's really helpful if you know you'll need extras for like gifts or hosting, and for like every cooked meal at home or skipped coffee run, it could go towards that, new iPhone for Sarah's teen, or, like those little expenses add up really fast. Like, I don't know about you, Andy, but when I try to take my family of 4 out to dinner,
don't even talk about it.
It's $70 minimum. I feel like no matter where we go, it's just $70.
Yep. I know.
So skipping that, cooking at home, you can save a lot of money if you just plan a little bit ahead. And you can also make it a challenge that becomes kind of a fun and competitive twist, by including your, friends and family, and like seeing who can save the most over the month and spend, cut back as much. So, and you don't have to cut out every single expense. You could just say, we are cutting out dining out this month. We're only going to eat at home, even if that means we have popcorn for dinner 3 nights in a row. Like, food is food sometimes.
Ramen noodles. Here
yeah. Or you could try, instead of going out, to the movies, you have movie night at home, or, whatever your guilty pleasure is for those non-essential expenses, find ways to cut that out just for the month, and you'd be surprised how much extra you end up with in your bank account. So, and you can still enjoy yourself. Your life you don't have to just sit and stare at like paint drying. You can still have fun.
Okay. I don't know if I'm up for it, but I like the idea. So that we've talked, about short-term strategies. What about long-term strategies, planning way ahead for the holidays?
Yeah, planning ahead is key for everything that has to do with your money, and the holidays is no different. So I think one of the best strategies to really be prepared for the holidays is to estimate your typical holiday expenses. So let's say if it's $1,000, divide it by 12, right? And then set up the automatic transfers each month into that holiday fund, that club savings account or that Wincentive account or whatever kind of account you want to put it in. Just move it somewhere where you can't touch it and spend it without having to physically think about moving that money. And then you have to say, am I taking Christmas away from my kids to do whatever I'm doing? If that's what gets you to keep it there. So, but then by the time December rolls around, you'll have like this ready stash without all the stress of trying to find this last minute money. And then for those who like snagging deals, those post holiday sales are a perfect time to stock up on like items that you would use for next year's at some really big discounts, right? You think of like when they're done with the Christmas stuff, they just want to get it off their shelves. So they will discount all kinds of stuff. So imagine, grabbing wrapping paper and decorations for next year at like half price or less. Like you could save a lot of money just by planning ahead for next year by taking advantage of some of those post-holiday sales.
Just remember that you did purchase it and remember where you put it.
Yes, that is key.
Because trust me, that has happened.
Yes.
Okay. So planning ahead obviously always pays off. Any last minute advice for the holiday season, making it affordable?
Yeah, I feel like this is true for most people. They don't focus on the flashy things or feeling like you have to overspend for the holidays to be special. Sometimes the simple, more thoughtful gifts can actually mean more to people. And so whether, you're taking time to save through, a club account or being really savvy with your shopping or you're sticking to the budget, like the key here is just plan with intention. By making those more careful choices and intentional choices, you can enjoy the holidays without stressing about, the credit card bills in January.
Absolutely. Great information, of course, Jenna. And I'm sure if we had time, we could talk about this for a lot longer, ways to get through the holidays and handle it by making good money moves. But where can I find out more?
Yes, as always, I encourage our listeners to visit our website, firstalliancecu.com. You can subscribe to our blog. We release new financial tips and advice every week. You can listen to past episodes of this show at firstalliancecu.com/podcast or on krocnews.com. You can also subscribe to Good Money Moves on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and Spotify. And as always, I encourage you to reach out to our team at First Alliance Credit Union. We are here to help you start making good money moves today.
That is First Alliance Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. Jenna, thank you again.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk again next week with more Good Money Moves on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.